The Meridian Grand Hotel lobby glows like liquid gold. Crystal chandeliers the size of small cars hang from vaulted ceilings. Marble floors polished to mirrors. The scent of imported lilies and old money. Grace Park pushes her cleaning cart through the service hallway. 67 years old and her knees ache. Her navy blue uniform is crisp despite the wear. Her silver hair pulled back in a neat bun. She's been invisible in places like this for 40 years. She checks her watch. 11:47 p.m. Almost time for her break. Almost time to call her granddaughter Alicia and make sure she's finished her homework. The lobby doors swing open. Silence crashes through the space like a tidal wave. Grace looks up from her cart. Sees him. Min-jun Park walks through the Meridian Grand like he owns it. And in many ways that matter, he does. 3 men in black suits flank him. Their eyes scan. Assess. Calculate threats. But Min-jun himself? He moves like water. Unhurried. Absolute. His charcoal Tom Ford suit probably costs more than Grace makes in 6 months. His watch catches the light, Patek Philippe, diamonds, legacy. The hotel manager, Mr. Chen, nearly trips over himself rushing forward. Bowing. Stammering welcomes. Min-jun doesn't acknowledge him. His eyes sweep the lobby. Looking for something. Always looking. And then they land on Grace. She's wiping down a brass railing near the elevators. Her movements efficient. Practiced. She doesn't see him yet. But he sees her. Something in his chest. No. He stops walking. His men stop. Mr. Chen stops mid-sentence. The entire lobby holds its breath. Grace feels the weight of silence. Looks up. Their eyes meet across 30 feet of marble and money. For Grace, it's just another wealthy guest. Another man who looks through her like she's furniture. For Min-jun, it's impossible. He starts walking toward her. Direct. Purposeful. His men exchange glances. This isn't protocol. Min-jun Park doesn't approach cleaning staff. Mr. Chen hustles to keep up. Mr. Park, is something wrong? Is there? Leave. Min-jun's voice is silk over razor wire. Mr. Chen vanishes. Grace straightens her spine. She's been dismissed by powerful men before. She's been looked through, looked down on, looked past. But this man isn't looking past her. He's looking at her. Into her. Like he's seeing a ghost. Good evening, sir. Her voice is steady. Professional. Is there something I can help you with? Min-jun stops 3 feet away. Close enough that Grace can smell his cologne. Expensive. Dark. Unfamiliar. Your name. Not a question. A command. Grace's jaw tightens. I'm sorry. Your name badge. He gestures to the small plastic rectangle pinned to her uniform. I can't read it from here. It's a lie. He's close enough. But Grace reaches up, touches the badge anyway. Grace Park, she says. Each word careful. I work housekeeping 3rd shift. The name lands like a gunshot in Min-jun's chest. Park. His last name. His family name. The only thing he carried from Seoul when he was 5 years old and alone. Park, he repeats. His voice has changed. Softened. Or maybe broken. Grace Park. Yes, sir. You're Korean. The question should be absurd. Grace is black. Obviously, visibly black. But there's something in his tone. No, sir. I'm American. From Georgia originally. Then why? He stops. Regroups. How did you get the name Park? Grace's eyes narrow. That's a personal question, Mr. Park. Min-jun Park. The air between them crackles. Grace's heart does something strange. A skip. A stutter. Park. She hasn't heard that name spoken by a Korean voice in 40 years. She clears her throat. I took the name a long time ago. For personal reasons. Personal reasons. Min-jun's eyes, dark, dangerous, desperate, bore into hers. What personal reasons would make a black American woman from Georgia take a Korean family name? Grace should walk away. Should call her supervisor. Should remember that powerful men asking personal questions never ends well. But something in his face. Raw. Wounded. Searching. I was married once, she says quietly. Briefly. 40 years ago. To a Korean man. I kept his name after everything. After what? After he died. The lobby has emptied without her noticing. Min-jun's men have created a perimeter. Privacy. Space. What was his name? Min-jun asks. Your husband. That's. Please. The word costs him. Grace can see it. This man who commands fear is begging. Please. Grace's hands tremble. She clasps them together. Park Hyun-woo. His name was Park Hyun-woo. Min-jun's world tilts. Hyun-woo. The name he hasn't heard in 37 years. The name from the photograph. The man holding a child. The father who died in Seoul. The father Min-jun has no memory of. That's impossible, he whispers. Excuse me. Park Hyun-woo died in Seoul in 1987. He had a wife. Park Ji-hye. And a son. Park Min-jun. His voice cracks. Me. Grace's knees buckle. Min-jun catches her. Holds her upright. And that's when everything changes. If you love stories about impossible connections that reshape entire lives, hit that subscribe button now. We tell stories about love that transforms, about truths that echo across decades, about promises that refuse to die. You're about to discover how one shared name unlocks 40 years of secrets. Min-jun's penthouse overlooks Los Angeles like a throne room over a kingdom. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Minimalist furniture. Art worth more than lives. But tonight, none of it matters. Grace sits on the leather sofa, hands wrapped around tea she hasn't touched. Min-jun paces. His men wait outside. This conversation is private. Tell me everything, Min-jun says. From the beginning. Grace takes a breath. 1985, I was 25 years old. Working at the Korean consulate in Atlanta. I was a secretary. Office admin. Nothing special. You met him there. He was visiting. Cultural exchange program. A teacher from Seoul. Quiet. Kind. Her voice softens. He saw me. Really saw me. Not the black secretary. Not the help. Me. Min-jun stops pacing. Sits across from her. Go on. We fell in love. Secret at first. His family wouldn't approve. A black American woman. My family didn't understand either. Different world. Different language. But you married. In secret. Small ceremony. Just us and a judge. Hyun-woo said once he established himself in America, once he brought his son over, we'd make it public. We'd be a family. Min-jun's throat tightens. His son. Me. He talked about you constantly. Min-jun. His precious boy. 5 years old. Sharp. Brave. Living with his mother's family in Seoul while Hyun-woo worked to bring you both to America. Tears streamed down Grace's face now. He was supposed to go back in March 1987. Get you. Bring you here. We'd found an apartment. A school. I was learning Korean to talk to you. What happened? February 15, 1987. I got a call from the Korean consulate. There'd been an accident. A fire in Seoul. Hyun-woo was dead. Min-jun closes his eyes. The fire. He remembers. Barely. Smoke. Screaming. Strong hands pulling him out. He was told both his parents died. He was told he was alone. They lied to me, he whispers. Who? My mother's family. The people who raised me. They said both my parents died in the fire. They said I had no one. Grace's hand flies to her mouth. Ji-hai. Your mother. She survived. She died 3 months after the fire. Injuries. I was told they both died together. Oh, God. They erased you, Min-jun says, the pieces falling into place. My mother's family. They knew Hyun-woo had remarried. They knew about you. And they erased you. Grace nods slowly. I tried to find you. For years. But I had no legal claim. We'd married in secret. I had no proof. The consulate said the family wanted no contact. That I should move on. You kept his name. It was all I had left of him. Of the family we were supposed to be. Min-jun stands. Walks to the window. His reflection stares back. Behind it, the city he controls. The empire he built from nothing. I spent my life searching, he says quietly. I didn't know what for. I told myself it was power. Control. But really, I was looking for connection. For family. For proof that I wasn't just alone. You're not alone. He turns. Looks at this woman. This stranger. This. You were supposed to be my stepmother, he says. I was supposed to be your ama, Grace corrects gently. You're Hyun-woo, he taught me the word. He said you'd call me that. Eventually. The word breaks something in Min-jun, ama. Mother. He crosses the room. Kneels in front of Grace. Takes her weathered, working woman's hands in his manicured, blood-stained ones. I don't know how to do this, he admits. I don't know how to be soft. Human. I've lived in violence so long. Grace cups his face. Sees the orphan beneath the monster. Then let me teach you, she says. Let me teach you what your father wanted you to know. That you are loved. That you matter. That family isn't just blood, it's choice. Min-jun's men find him 3 hours later. Still talking with Grace. Learning about his father. About love. About the life that was stolen. He's made a decision. You don't work at the Meridian anymore, he tells Grace. Her spine stiffens. Mr. Park. Min-jun, call me Min-jun. Or. He swallows hard. Or whatever you want. I need that job. You need security. You need a home. You need family. He pulls out his phone. Makes 3 calls. By the time he's done, Grace's rent is paid for the year. Her granddaughter's college fund is established. Her debts are erased. I can't accept. You can. You will. Because I'm not asking. I'm telling you that from this moment forward, you are under my protection. You are Park family. And no one touches Park family. Grace should be afraid. This man is dangerous. His money comes from places she doesn't want to know about. But he's also the little boy her husband loved. The son she never got to raise. On one condition, she says. Name it. You come to Sunday dinner. Every week. You meet Alicia. My granddaughter. And you learn how to be family. Not a boss. Not a criminal. Family. Min Jun has faced down rival gangs. Has negotiated with cartels. Has ordered deaths without flinching. But Sunday dinner with Grace Park terrifies him more than anything. Deal, he says anyway. The next 6 weeks are strange. Beautiful. Complicated. Min Jun shows up every Sunday at Grace's small apartment in Inglewood. Brings groceries. Expensive ones. Grace makes him take half back. I'm not feeding an army. Just family. He meets Alicia. Grace's 16-year-old granddaughter. Smart. Suspicious. So you're the crime boss my grandma's been weird about? Alicia. Grace scolds. But Min Jun laughs. Actually laughs. Yes. I am. Cool. Can you teach me Korean? And he does. Grace teaches him how to make cornbread. He teaches her about Korean rice cakes. They compare recipes. Compare losses. She tells him about the 40 years. The jobs. The struggle. The loneliness. He tells her about Seoul. The orphanage. The violence. The way he built power from pain. Your father would be horrified, Grace says one night. They're washing dishes together. A strange sight, the crime boss with his sleeves rolled up, hands in soap water. I know. But he'd also understand. He'd see why you survived the way you did. Would he forgive me? Grace looks at this man. This killer. This orphan. This son. I think he'd say you did what you had to do. And now you have a choice to do something different. Min Jun starts changing. Slowly. Incrementally. He starts legitimate businesses. Real ones. Tech startups. Restaurants that don't launder money. His men notice. Worry. Boss, you're going soft. No, he corrects. I'm going smart. There's more money in legal than illegal. And less death. But not everyone in his world agrees. The threat comes from within his own organization. Lee Jin-ho. Min Jun's second-in-command for 15 years. Ambitious. Ruthless. And deeply unhappy with Min Jun's recent changes. He's weak, Jin-ho tells the other lieutenants. This woman, this black woman, she's made him soft. Sentimental. She's his stepmother, one lieutenant argues. She's a distraction. And distractions get you killed. Jin-ho makes his move carefully. Strategically. First, he spreads rumors. Min Jun is losing his edge. His focus. He's chosen family over business. Then he creates problems. Deals go bad. Money goes missing. Small things. Things that can be blamed on Min Jun's distraction. And then he goes after Grace. It's a Tuesday. Grace is at the grocery store with Alicia. They're laughing. Debating whether to make Korean barbecue or fried chicken for Sunday dinner. Why not both? Alicia suggests. The black SUV pulls up fast. 3 men get out. Korean. Expensive suits. Guns barely concealed. Grace knows danger when she sees it. Alicia. Run. Grandma. Run. The men grab Grace. Not rough. Professional. Come quietly, Mrs. Park. No one gets hurt. Alicia runs. Calls Min Jun. Her voice high with terror. They took Grandma. Men in suits. They took her. Min-jun is in a meeting. Discussing investments. Boring. Legal. The phone call turns his blood to ice. Where? Parking lot. Ralph's on Crenshaw. They put her in a black SUV. License plate, she rattles off numbers. Min-jun is already moving. Stay on the line. Go to the security office. Don't leave until I send someone. He makes 3 more calls. By the time he reaches his car, his entire organization is mobilized. Every camera in LA is being checked. Every contact is being called. And in the deep part of his soul where the orphan still lives, a voice whispers, "Not again. Not again. Not again." They find the SUV abandoned in Koreatown. Empty. Clean. Professional. Which means this isn't random. This is organized. This is. His phone rings. Unknown number. Yes. Min-jun. Jin-ho's voice. Familiar. Casual. Deadly. We need to talk. Where is she? Safe. For now. The old woman is comfortable. We're not animals. If you hurt her. You'll what? Kill me. You've gone soft, boss. Everyone knows it. You're not the man you used to be. Min-jun's voice drops to a whisper. Dangerous. Final. You have no idea what I'm capable of when someone threatens my family. Family? Jin-ho laughs. She's not your family. She's a cleaning lady who married your dead father 40 years ago. She's nothing. She's everything. Then prove it, Jin-ho says. Come alone. Warehouse on 7th and Central. 1 hour. You for her. Walk away from the organization. Disappear. And she lives. And if I don't? Then the old woman learns what happens to distractions in our world. And so does her granddaughter. The line goes dead. Min-jun stares at the phone. His men surround him. Boss? Get me everything on the warehouse. Every exit. Every sight line. Every. He said come alone, one man interrupts. I know what he said. Boss, it's a trap. I know. He goes alone anyway. The warehouse looms. Industrial. Abandoned. Perfect for violence. Min-jun walks through the front door. No weapons. No backup. Just him. Jin-ho stands in the center. 20 men surround him. All armed. And there, tied to a chair but unharmed, is Grace. Grandma. He starts toward her. Guns cock. He freezes. She's fine, Jin-ho says. See? We're civilized. Now. Let's talk business. This isn't business. This is treason. This is survival. You've gone weak. The organization needs strong leadership. Min-jun's eyes never leave Grace. She's scared. He can see it. But she's also proud. She's proud of him. Let her go, Min-jun says quietly. This is between us. No. This is about showing you what matters. Power or sentiment. Choose. I choose both. Jin-ho raises his gun. Points it at Grace. Wrong answer. What happens when the man you become conflicts with the man you want to be? Comment below, what would you sacrifice for family? And don't miss what happens next, this is where everything changes. The gunshot doesn't come from Jin-ho. It comes from the warehouse rafters. From the shadows. From the men Min-jun said he didn't bring. Because Min-jun Park didn't become a crime boss by following rules. Not even his enemy's rules. Chaos erupts. Min-jun dives toward Grace. Covers her with his body as bullets tear through the warehouse. Jin-ho's men scatter. Return fire. But they're outmatched. Outgunned. Outplanned. Min-jun's people drop from the rafters. Pour through the doors. Move with military precision. In 90 seconds, it's over. Jin-ho kneels. Surrounded. Defeated. Min-jun stands. Unties Grace with shaking hands. Are you hurt? No. No, I'm okay. He pulls her into his arms. Holds her. This woman who was supposed to be his mother. This woman who taught him what family means. I'm sorry, he whispers into her silver hair. I'm so sorry. You came for me. Always. I'll always come for you. He turns to Jin-ho. The rage is cold now. Controlled. Absolute. You touched my family. Min-jun, please. There is no please. There is no mercy. You knew the rules. She's not even Korean. She's just. Min-jun's fist connects with Jin-ho's jaw. The crack echoes. Say it again. Tell me again what she is. And I'll show you exactly how soft I've become. Jin-ho spits blood. You'll regret this. Going legit. Choosing sentiment over power. The streets will eat you alive. Then let them try. Min-jun signals his men. Get him out of my sight. I don't want to see him again. Ever. The aftermath is complicated. Jin-ho's attempted coup has exposed cracks in the organization. Some men are loyal to Min-jun. Others see weakness in his transformation. Min-jun calls a meeting. Every lieutenant. Every captain. Every soldier who's ever taken his orders. Grace insists on being there. This is dangerous, Min-jun argues. These men need to understand who I am. What I mean to you. And what will happen if they test that. So she stands beside him. This 67-year-old housekeeper. In a room full of killers. Min-jun addresses them in Korean first. Then English. Making sure everyone understands. You know me. You know what I've built. What I've done. The blood I've spilled. Murmurs of agreement. But you don't know my story. Where I came from. Who I lost. He tells them. Everything. The fire. The orphanage. The loneliness. The violence that became his family. And then I met her. He gestures to Grace. Grace Park. The woman my father married. The mother I never knew I had. More murmurs. Some curious. Some skeptical. Some of you think this makes me weak. That family is a liability. That sentiment gets you killed. He pauses. Lets the words hang. You're right. It does. In the world we've built, love is weakness. Connection is danger. And I'm tired of living in that world. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going legitimate. Completely. The illegal operations. Shut down. Dissolved. Done. You want to stay in that life? Fine. But not under my name. Not under Park. Chaos. Shouting. Men standing. Threatening. Grace doesn't flinch. Neither does Min-jun. Enough. His voice cuts through the noise like a blade. Silence. I'm offering you a choice. Come with me into legitimate business. Real money. Legal money. Money that doesn't come with blood. Or walk away. Now. Tonight. No hard feelings. No revenge. Just, walk away. And if we stay in the old ways, someone asks. Under a different name? Then we're competitors. But we're not enemies. Unless you come after my family. Then. Min-jun's smile is cold. Then you remember exactly who I am. What I've done. And you ask yourself if you really want to test me. Over the next hour, the room empties. Some men take his offer. See the wisdom in going clean. In building something that lasts beyond bullets and fear. Others walk away. Respectfully. Understanding the terms. A few, a dangerous few, make threats. Those men don't leave the building. Min-jun has gone soft. But he hasn't gone stupid. When it's done, when the last man has chosen his path, Grace and Min-jun stand alone in the empty meeting room. You just dismantled your empire, Grace says quietly. I just saved my soul. Your father would be proud. Min-jun sits down heavily. The weight of the decision crushing him now that the performance is over. Would he? I just gave up everything I've built. Everything I am. Grace sits beside him. Takes his hand. No. You gave up everything you thought you were. Everything you had to become to survive. But now? Now you get to become who you were supposed to be. I don't know how to be that person. Then we'll figure it out together. One Sunday dinner at a time. But the next Sunday dinner never comes. Because Jin-ho isn't done. The attack comes at Grace's apartment. 3 a.m. Fire alarm. Residents flooding into the street. Grace grabs Alicia. Come on, baby. Quick. They make it to the street. Fire trucks. Police. Confusion. And then Alicia screams. Grace turns. Jin-ho. Holding a gun. Pointed at Alicia's head. You cost me everything, he hisses at Grace. So I'll cost you everything. Grace doesn't think. Doesn't hesitate. She lunges at Jin-ho. 77 years old, and she launches herself at an armed killer. The gun goes off. Grace falls. Alicia screams. Jin-ho runs. And Min-jun, racing toward the scene in his car, hears the gunshot from 2 blocks away. He knows. The way an orphan knows when he's about to lose someone again. Cedars-Sinai Hospital. ICU. Grace is in surgery. 5 hours now. The bullet hit her chest. Collapsed a lung. Nicked her heart. Min-jun sits in the waiting room. Hasn't moved. Hasn't eaten. Hasn't slept. Alicia sits beside him. Both of them covered in Grace's blood. She saved me, Alicia whispers. She just jumped at him. Didn't even think about it. That's who she is, Min-jun says. His voice is hollow. She saves people. Even people like me. His phone has been ringing. Calls from his men. They found Jin-ho. They're holding him. Waiting for orders. Min-jun doesn't care. Sir. One of his lieutenants, Park Sung-min, loyal, steady, approaches carefully. We have Jin-ho. What are your orders? Kill him. Sir. You heard me. Kill him. Slowly. Make it hurt. Sung-min hesitates. Sir, you said we were going clean. That we. I said kill him. The waiting room goes silent. Alicia touches his arm. That's not what Grandma would want. Min-jun looks at this girl. 16 years old. Wise beyond her years. She'd want justice, Alicia continues. Not revenge. There's a difference. Justice doesn't bring her back. Neither does revenge. Min-jun closes his eyes. Sees Grace. Teaching him to make cornbread. Laughing at his terrible Korean pronunciation. Holding his face like he matters. Like he's loved. Turn Jin-ho over to the police, he tells Sungmin, let the system handle him. Boss. Do it. And make sure they have everything. Evidence. Witnesses. Everything they need to put him away forever. And if he talks, gives up information about the organization, then he talks. I'm done hiding. I'm done running. Whatever consequences come, I'll face them. The surgeon comes out at hour 6. Dr. Martinez. Exhausted. But smiling. She's stable. She made it through surgery. The next 48 hours are critical, but she's a fighter. Min-jun stands. His legs barely hold him. Can I see her? 5 minutes. ICU. She's sedated but you can sit with her. Grace looks small in the hospital bed. Tubes. Monitors. Machines keeping her alive. Min-jun takes her hand. Weathered. Strong. The hand that cleaned hotel rooms and raised a granddaughter and saved a crime boss's soul. I'm sorry, he whispers. This is my fault. My world. My violence. Grace's eyes flutter open. Barely. Stop apologizing. You're awake. Barely. A weak smile. Always dramatic. Rest. Don't talk. Have to tell you. She squeezes his hand. Proud, so proud. You were shot because of me. Was shot, protecting family. Worth it. Grace. Your father would be proud too. You chose right thing. I almost killed Jin-ho. Almost went back to. But didn't. That's what matters. You chose. Her eyes close. The monitors beep steadily. Min-jun sits with her until the nurses make him leave. 3 months later. The transformation is complete. Park Industries is now fully legitimate. Tech real estate. Restaurants. Import, export, but legal this time. Every dollar accounted for. Every business above board. Min-jun has met with federal prosecutors. Made a deal. Immunity for testimony against his former rivals. Some of his old crew went to prison. Others walked away clean with him. Jin-ho got 40 years. No parole. And Grace? She recovered. Slowly. Stubbornly. Too mean to die, she jokes. Today is the first Sunday dinner since the shooting. Grace's new apartment, courtesy of Min-jun, who finally won the argument about her living conditions, is filled with people. Alicia and her friends. Min-jun and his remaining crew. Dr. Martinez and some of the nurses who cared for Grace. And in the kitchen, making Korean rice cakes and southern sweet potato pie, are Grace and Min-jun. You're doing it wrong, Grace scolds, watching him roll the rice dough. I'm following your exact instructions. Then my instructions are wrong. Add more water. You're impossible. You're stubborn. They both laugh. Alicia pokes her head in. Are you two fighting about food again? We're not fighting, Min-jun protests. We're collaborating, Grace adds. Right. Alicia grins. Hey, Min-jun, or should I call you uncle now? The question makes him pause. Uncle. Family. Real family. Call me whatever feels right, he says softly. What about Orabioni? Grace suggests. Older brother in Korean. I'm old enough to be her father. Semantics. Grace waves it off. Your family. That's what matters. Dinner is loud. Chaotic. Beautiful. Different languages mixing. Korean. English. Spanish from Dr. Martinez. Laughter. Stories. Connection. Min-jun watches from his seat. This is what he spent 40 years searching for. Not power. Not fear. Not control. This. After dinner, Grace pulls him aside. To the balcony. City lights spread below. I have something for you. She hands him a small box. Inside is a photograph. Faded. 1985, a young Korean man, handsome, kind eyes, standing with a young black woman in front of the Korean consulate. Hyun-woo and Grace. His father and his almost mother. I've kept this for 40 years, Grace says. Your father gave it to me the day before he left for Seoul. Said it was proof. That we existed. That our love was real. Min-jun's eyes blur with tears. He looks happy. He was. We both were. She pauses. And I think, wherever he is, he's happy now too. Knowing we found each other. Knowing you're okay. I'm more than okay. Min-jun looks at her. I have a family. Yes, you do. They stand in comfortable silence. Watching the city. The empire Min-jun no longer needs to rule. Grace. Would it be okay if I called you Amma? His voice breaks on the word. I know you're not technically, and I'm too old, and it's. Grace cups his face. The way she did that first night in his penthouse. I would be honored, she whispers. I've waited 40 years to hear that word. Min-jun breaks. Sobs. 40 years of being strong, of being alone, of being the orphan who became a monster to survive, all of it cracks open. And Grace holds him. Lets him cry. Lets him be the 5-year-old boy who lost everything. You're safe now, she whispers. You're loved. You're home. Inside, the party continues. Laughter. Music. Life. And on the balcony, a crime boss and a cleaning lady become what they were always meant to be. Mother and son. 5 years later. The Park Foundation has become one of Los Angeles's most respected charitable organizations. Housing for the homeless. Education programs. Support for orphans. Min-jun runs it personally. Every program. Every donation. Every child helped. Grace sits on the board. To keep him honest, she jokes. Alicia just graduated UCLA. Pre-law. Someone has to keep Uncle Min-jun out of legal trouble. Today is the grand opening of the Foundation's new center. A place for kids in the foster system. Support. Resources. Hope. Min-jun stands at the podium. Grace beside him. Alicia in the front row. 40 years ago, he begins, I was an orphan in Seoul. Alone. Scared. Angry at the world. The audience listens. Reporters. Politicians. Community leaders. I built a life from that anger. From that pain. I became powerful. Feared. Successful in ways the world measures. He pauses. But I was empty. Until I met her. He gestures to Grace. Until I learned that family isn't about blood. It's about choice. About showing up. About love that transforms. Grace squeezes his hand. This center is named for the man who taught me about love. Who wanted to build a family across cultures, across differences, across everything the world said was impossible. He unveils the plaque. The Park Hyun-woo Center for Family Services. Grace's hand flies to her mouth. Tears stream. He would have loved this, she whispers. He would have loved you, Min-jun says. The way you loved him. The way you loved me. A stranger. A criminal. A lost boy who didn't know he needed saving. The crowd applauds. But Min-jun doesn't hear it. He only sees Grace. His Amma. The woman who answered a wrong text message 40 years ago by marrying his father. The woman who waited 4 decades for a family that finally came home. After the ceremony, they walk through the center. Children everywhere. Playing. Learning. Being kids. One little boy, 5 years old, Korean, in the foster system, runs up to Min-jun. "Are you the boss?" he asks in Korean. Min-jun kneels down. Sees himself. "I used to be. Now I'm just someone who wants to help. My caseworker says you were in foster care too." "I was. In Seoul. A long time ago." "Were you scared?" "Every day." "Me too." Min-jun pulls Grace close. "But I learned something important. You're only alone if you think you are. Family can find you in the strangest ways. Through the strangest people. You just have to be open to it." The boy hugs Min-jun, unexpected. Tight. And Min-jun hugs back. The way he wishes someone had hugged him. The way Grace hugs him every Sunday. The way family hugs. That night, Sunday dinner is at Min-jun's house. Not the penthouse. He sold that. Now he lives in a regular house in the suburbs. Good schools. Safe neighborhood. Room for family. Grace and Alicia are there. Dr. Martinez and her kids. Some of Min-jun's former crew who went legitimate with him. Their families. The table is huge. Korean food. Seoul food. Mexican food. Everyone contributing. Different languages. Different backgrounds. Different stories. But one family. Grace stands. Taps her glass. "I want to make a toast," she says. Everyone quiets. 40 years ago, I married a man named Park Hyun-woo. We had 3 months together before he died. For years, I thought that was my only chance at family. At belonging. She looks at Min-jun. At Alicia. At everyone gathered. I was wrong. Family doesn't end. It transforms. It grows. It finds you when you least expect it. She raises her glass. To Hyun-woo. Who brought us together across time and tragedy. And to Min-jun. Who taught an old cleaning lady that it's never too late to be a mother. To family, everyone echoes. Min-jun stands. Wraps his arm around Grace. To Amma, he says. Who saved me when I didn't know I needed saving. Grace kisses his cheek. You saved yourself, baby. I just reminded you how. As the night goes on, Min-jun steps outside. Looks at the stars. Somewhere, he thinks, his father is watching. Proud. And somewhere in Seoul, a 5-year-old boy who lost everything is finally home. Not because of blood. Not because of duty. But because of love. Because 40 years ago, a Korean man married a black woman, and their story didn't end with death. It transformed. Waited. Grew. Until the day a crime boss asked for her ID. And froze when he saw her last name was the same as his. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that family is about choice and love rather than just blood, hit that like button. Drop a comment and tell me, what was your favorite moment? Was it when Min-jun first saw Grace's name? When she stood up to his organization? When he called her Amma for the first time? And share this with someone who needs to hear that it's never too late for family. Never too late for love. Never too late for redemption. See you in the next story.